Welcome back to part 2 of the VRChat Community Spotlight. Last episode, we introduced you to the basics of new virtual reality technologies that gave home to an ever-growing online community. We've come to see that the virtual reality not only gives us an immersive experience, but also gives us new ways to meet new people and share new experiences. I've had the opportunity to meet and talk with some of the people that have grown the community, as well as those who build the incredible worlds you get to see here. In this episode, we draw attention to the worlds that you will find and place our spotlight on the talented creators that dedicate themselves to provide our homes and adventures. This is the World Developers Community Spotlight. VRChat content creators are so passionate about their work and only want to impress everyone who turns up.
First, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Legends. I make worlds, and I make worlds for experience. I like to convey emotions into my worlds.
Almost every world you'll find in VRChat is made for free by individuals in the community, using 3D development software such as Unity, and share masterful designs in virtual reality game development.
I wanted to see more interaction in VRChat overall, which is why I started world building. But I had no Unity knowledge or game development knowledge. Like, I'd made avatars, but I did not do any sort of the programming side. For a living, I'm an animator, so I've already done like a degree in animation, so I can model texture, rig characters, and so I could make a avatar from scratch basically from the knowledge that I've got from my career, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I relied a lot on the official Discord, so I was super active on that Discord, spending a lot of time purely in the world development channel. But that's where I got to meet a lot of cool world builder friends. And we just started like helping each other with advice, and yeah, it was difficult, but I had like a really good community to support me. So without like having those friends, I probably wouldn't have got anywhere close to completing Luxerion. Yeah, pretty much like I owe a lot to like my friends who just taught me like don't do this instead, and yeah, just pointed me in the right direction. A lot of them started at the same time I did, so we were kind of discovering it together as well. So it was a lot of trial and error and figuring out, okay, that breaks VRChat, don't do that.
It's about, generally what'll get you really good, it's about quality, and if your map is good, you're gonna get support if you put it out there, the right channels. There's just no stopping it, honestly. If you're somebody who's talented in Unity and you make stuff for VRChat, you make something that's really awesome, the devs will immediately take notice. If you go through you have to go through the right channels, obviously, but I mean, the right channels is as simple as, jumping into any one of the community's Discords, being like, hey, I made a thing, and people will be like, great, let's go. And then off you go on your own whirlwind adventure with these people and a thing that you made, and then they all get to enjoy it too, and that's like avatars and maps. I mean, there's so many people. They're so excited and so like passionate about the stuff that they do. They really do. If you let them, they're like that old dad. You know what I mean? If you let them ramble, they're gonna ramble. But it's always with them. It's their version of rambling is just like, oh, I want to show you this, and then like it's amazing, and then you're like, oh my god, I could actually fly a mech and shoot this thing. It's like, yeah. But look at this amazing thing. You're like, oh my god, it's like a deathmatch thing. Oh my god, this is amazing. It's like, wait. Now look at this, and it's like Luxerion world with all this open world stuff. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome, and it keeps happening. These people are great, honestly, and the middle map maker community that they've made, breathes life into the community, and it's awesome to see what they do.
During some of my previous adventures, I came across Luxerion World and began communicating with the author, Lakusa, who was more than happy to share his experiences building his very first world.
So yeah, so a lot of people assume that any animation in Luxerion World is from the games, but there's no ripped animations at all. I've animated everything from scratch. So the Behemoth King boss fight took a month alone of just animating.
Just pure animation.
And that was just like a really slow. Yeah, and that was before I took it into Unity, so it was just in. So I use Maya to do my animation. Outside of Unity and bring it in. So yeah, it was just doing all the different attacks and idols and stuff, and yeah, it was a really long process.
Lakusa is also the one who put me in contact with some of the most popular VRChat developers, who also shared their experiences with others like myself.
It's mostly baked, but it's like mixed. Like this is real-time lighting for the lighting effects. So you can see the shadow, kind of a realistic effect. It looks cool when you see the reflections on the floor, like when you're walking. And then when you pick them up, you can open them. And when you open them, that's when the voiceover of whoever voices that script is gonna play.
Okay.
So like you had a book, you opened it, and it's like, oh, so on and so forth, and this and that. And then you're like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So I can go to this room, and that means this room is that room, that kind of stuff. So the way I look at it, I look at VRChat as one huge entire metaverse. And everyone, like you're just exploring, and then you come across this library, you go in, and then you get yourself in a situation, basically. That's how I kind of look at it.
Yeah.
So like you come in, and then, oh, I can't leave, what's going on? Or you're curious about something, you look around, and then you just get yourself into an entire whole scenario. And then there also is going to be like a spiral staircase where you're going to have to find the right door, or it's going to keep going and going forever. So it's kind of like an enchanted magical library. So there's going to be like things happening here that's going to be like strange.
VRChat uses Unity as its game engine and provides the tools necessary for others to create any 3D environment or object.
Unity I started with VRChat, so surprisingly that was quite user-friendly. I was kind of amazed how easy it's like to build like a basic world. It's easy. Like if someone's like struggling to get the motivation to start because they feel like it might be too difficult, it's not. It's literally just a few button clicks and you've got like a basic world with like a cube floor and like a couple of walls. It's available in VRChat. That's probably one of the biggest pros of VRChat. It's how easy it is to upload stuff. There were like, I would say 3 pillars that I've kind of described in the past when talking about the Luxerion world that I wanted to focus on because I just thought they were lacking in VRChat overall. One was interaction. Maybe like there were worlds out there that had a battle system of sorts, but not completely there. So, for example, you had the sort of online world where you could kind of hit enemies, but the enemies wouldn't hit back, or there wasn't that kind of like danger of like dying or anything. So the Kingdom Hearts one was, from what I recall, an animation where you could just let it run for 15 minutes and the HP bar would go down itself. So that was more of a roleplay boss. It wasn't actually like a boss that you could damage. At least when I went there like early last year. Again, that might have updated now as well. So I wanted to kind of like improve on the interaction, so have like an actual working boss fight with like a HP bar for both the player and the enemy. That's one pillar. The second one was a focus on exploration, but with reward. Because you got so many big worlds in VRChat where you can just walk around for hours, but it's nothing to do. You don't get rewarded for like finding this one cave. So I wanted to hide loads of secrets and just loads of treasure spheres everywhere. So there's kind of motivation to kind of go out and explore. And if there's like a random place someone finds, they're actually rewarded with something really cool there. And the third one was scale. I really hadn't seen any VRChat world that was messing with scale. So no like giants towering above you. So that's why you see so many giant NPCs that are just towering over the player. Like in VR, the presence and scale is just amazing. And like the first time I went into Cathedral in Luxerion World, it was just breathtaking how big it was. And I wanted more of that. So I kind of want to see more worlds like that in VRChat in general, where it's just messing with the scale and making you feel really small in a massive world. But at the time, like, there wasn't that much going on with worlds in general, like in January 2018. So that was a big kind of push. Like, I wanted to kind of get a world up there that hit all 3 bullet points. Yeah, that was pretty much it.
When getting to meet these world creators, one thing that they want is to show others their work, and in return witness other people's reactions as they go on these fantastic adventures. If you ever meet one of these people, never be afraid to ask what amazing worlds they have in store.
Honestly, the weirdest thing probably happened, and I don't know how this happened, but the creator of the Sniper Deathmatch world basically came into my stream one day when I was hanging out with, Battle Disc people, because, Seven's like a pretty tough player in Battle Disc, but he could not compete against this guy. This guy was apparently a really high rank Battle Disc player. But basically, he, sent me a friend request, joined in on the world, and it turns out he was actually a mute. I thought he would actually speak, but it turns out he was a mute, and he uses sign language instead. Which kind of threw me off at first. I didn't understand him at first, and then I started kind of, understanding him a little bit more. He basically just, came up to where I was, and grabbed my attention and was just like, would you like to visit the Time Machine world? Or the world that I was creating and all that stuff. And I, of course, said, yes, I want to see this. And that's when he started showing me all of this really cool stuff with the world. And honestly, people, you got to see this world yourself. Look for the Time Machine world and just go all the way through to the Time Machine world. It is a very pleasant experience, and it's a perfect world for roleplay.
So he actually references people in my friends list without naming them. So he'll describe a quirk about them, calling them tourists. And each time you talk to him, he should talk about someone different. This is like an Easter egg for people that have been here on past tours and stuff. But yeah, every time you talk to him, there's a randomized one that he talks about. I've been showing people that world since maybe February last year. So literally within a month of me starting it, I was already bringing friends, and then once I released the teaser world, a lot of sort of streamers and people in the Twitter community started messaging me saying they wanted a tour. So I was already doing those tours, like I said, but
during the production over the series, I have been able to see some amazing progress in VRChat, and I want to share some of that with you.
After traveling throughout the metaverse, you stumble upon a strange forest. Ancient text, megalithic structures, and giant trees which stand the test of time. Curious, you investigate this strange and seemingly uninhabited forest.
Now, our journey begins. So, immediately when you spawn, when you come here, and the fade effect leaves and you kind of see what's in front of you, the first thing I want to happen is I want it to capture you. So the trees are overgrown here. That means that the forest has been here for a very, very long time.
Things,
Mm-hmm.
It's a different time. Different
Exactly.
time.
So
Ooh!
So the music that you hear, this is a piece that I made for this section. It's music.
Oh, so you actually composed this music yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how you also make music and worlds to go together?
And I put them and I also do some of the sound effects. So I always had that musical skill on my side, but this world making stuff is still new. I'm just, getting better at it. The entire artistic tree is at my fingertips, basically. So the music changes according to the time of day. Now the next 2 tracks I did not make. I picked them up, I handpicked them because I thought they fit the world. And the world has a night and day cycle, actual real time.
Oh, right.
If
so,
you notice, the lighting is changing.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
it's
now
sped up
it's
for
going.
gameplay purposes.
Yeah, it's going.
Hmm. So I think it's 10 minutes for day and 10 minutes for night.
Oh, okay.
So it actually changes, like the color of the sky changes, and then you can see the
So
stars
you're
and the
hanging-
moon in the sky.
Ah.
So this particular section is just for the players to kind of just hang out and chill.
Yeah.
But the other parts are more involved in the world. So you can say this is non-canon, this area. Like, they wouldn't have beanbags here, you know? So basically they said that they didn't always look like this. Basically they used to look like us, probably humans. But because a specific evil fell into the forest and corrupted all the forest, they had no way to stop it, and the only way was to do a ritual to summon up 4 powerful beings. Now these beings sealed the entity away in the carvings, but the powerful magic, resulted in them turning into true creatures. So it's been like that for generations. So when I want players to come in here, I want them to feel like they are literally in a world. I want them to be completely captured, immersed in the worlds. It's all about the experience.
Yeah.
So
When I first started this project, it was meant to be a small contained documentary on the basics of VRChat and some of my friends. However, it was those very friends that met others and talked with them and shared our ideas together. They helped me to where I am now. It is to their efforts, the people of VRChat, that have helped me through so much and helped me see this project all the way to the very end. To them, I can't appreciate the wonderful times and friendships enough. And so to them, I dedicate the next episode to these individuals and place the spotlight on the amazing community that welcomes, support anyone and everyone. Until then.
Rougher than knuckles, the best of them, tougher than knuckles. You can call me Knuckles, unlike Knuckles, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my knuckles, I'm hard as knuckles. It ain't hard to chuckle, I break them down whether they knuckles. Unlike Knuckles, I'm independent since my first knuckle. Feel the right, then the knuckle chuckle. Born on an island in the heavens, the blood of my ancestors flows inside me. My duty is to save the flowers from evil deterioration. Yeah. I will be the one to set your knuckle free true. Cleanse yourself with them evil knuckles that's in you. Streaking lights, loud sounds, and instincts are the elements that keep me going. I am fighting my own mission. Nothing's gonna stand in my way, no. I will be the one to set your knuckle free true. Cleanse yourself with them evil knuckles that's in you. Won't be frightened now, stand up to all the pain and turmoil. Just believe in myself, won't rely on others. It's this power to fight back.
Sup, superstars? Hey, how's it going? I'd like to thank everyone who helped me out on this project and made this small project become something much, much bigger and more than I could ever hope for. I'd like to thank everyone you've seen in this series. Now, although I will finish this series, I do also wish to continue making more videos further in the future. If you want to help support me and future videos, please head over to either my Patreon or head over to my Twitch for some more content and live streams. No worries. Well, thank you all so much, and take care. Toodaloo.